Okay, so this is episode 4 of the Dark Podcast, and this is just a reevaluation of once again the soul and the Merkabah, the aura and nin and all those things. So it's all gonna go into one aspect of a simple, straightforward and direct perspective. Okay, or perspectives, because it's pretty deep, but still simplified, straight to the point. Okay, all right. So, um, as you exist, that and there's a fourth phase of alchemy, which is transmission. Okay, transmission is basically essentially um, transmutation, transference, and transformation, but it's like all in one. Okay, so it is basically the same thing as vibration, frequency, and tone, and then radiation would technically be a closer stage to transmission, because that transmission is the basically ignition, like turning the switch, and when you begin to vibrate in on high, very deeply, and your frequency is deeper, and your tone is deeper, and your radiation is deeper, it ignites the spirit, the mind. It activates the mind, or the mind becomes more aware, and it grows in its awareness. It deepens in its awareness, actually, and the soul begins to activate, and the spirit, it ignites. Okay, that's what transmission is, and then it begins to appear to be very powerful. Okay, but it's not truly power. It's just your essence, or your aura begins to like flare like fire. For example, just to put a imagery to it or illustrate the perspective. Okay, all right. So, and then it starts transmitting. Okay, transmitting is very powerful, because transmitting is basically how your aura begins to, how would you say, like, bend reality. Okay, well, that's actually true. Yeah, bend reality as you exist in the very moment you're in. So there's no such thing as presence, past, and future. It's quite literally just you existing in the moment, while you are while your presence is omitting, and emitting your entire essence. Okay, and that is very powerful, because whatever you believe in, think, or whatever you feel begins to quite literally change, or what you call influence, the perspectives and the perception of every and anything and all things around you, within you, and surrounding you. And it's basically the same thing, but as well as from you. So that's why when a goddess or a female reproduces, and she has and there's an offspring, the offspring has similar features, genetics, traits, things that basically are a signature of the soul that produced its vessel. Okay, for another soul to inhabit. Okay, so once again, what makes a god and a goddess, uh, which was left off on the previous episode before the episode had ended, is that it can regenerate, rejuvenate, revitalize, resurrect, incarnate, and reincarnate, as well as it it doesn't ever end, it never begins, because inner chi never dies, it only multiplies. And it just transforms, transmutes, and transfers. But when it exists with a vessel, it is transmitting. See how that works? It's a form of alchemy. So nin is essentially it's basically like a bowl of water, and then you're mixing things into it. Okay, so you're creating a concoction of something. You're creating a remedy, or using a recipe. When that recipe begins to emit, it's it begins to create, or what appears to the visible naked eyes as a presence is being formed. Okay, and that presence is basically nin. So you're like it's like it's like a bowl, and when you're mixing, or you're deepening your frequency vibration, and your radiation is becoming stronger and stronger and stronger, that's when you begin to charge up. You supercharge, and that supercharge allows your soul's existence to become, how could you say, like a field. Like the field of it becomes stronger. Like the the presence of it becomes stronger. And when that presence becomes stronger, it's very powerful, because you're using that within your mind to actually manifest. This is all part. This is what manifesting it. This is actually how manifesting works. Okay, so without that, you wouldn't be able to manifest anything. Okay, you wouldn't be manifesting constantly, subconsciously, consciously, unconsciously, and super consciously, as scientists or neuroscientists like to call it. Okay, so this is basically the concept of what nin is. It is strengthening your aura, your Merkabah. It's activating your Merkabah, strengthening your aura, and basically creating a stronger solar presence. And solar presence, in order for a stronger, a more present soul. Okay, so when you're more present in the moment, you're meditating. Okay, so it's the exact same thing. The stronger your presence, the stronger your perception, the stronger your perspective, the deeper your perspective kind of penetrates, and what you believe to be called materializes into what you believe to be called the physical realm. And that's how manifesting works. You're always manifesting, but you're not always manifesting on the same dimensions as your physical, was what you believe to be called your physical vessel, which is just your crystalline vessel. Which is so what's happening is that you could be manifesting mentally, vibrationally, psychologically, and crystally, or what you believe to be called physically, and you could be also manifesting spiritually and soulfully. So not all your manifestations are what you believe to be called, once again, physical. Okay, so you're creating new beliefs, new thoughts, and you're existing and feeling, and those feelings will allow you to know what frequency you're currently in, or vibrating in that very moment. And when you listen to different kind of music, you will hear the hertz, which is hertz is just your heartbeat. Okay, so it's a vibration, frequency, and tone that's moving at a certain vibration, frequency, and tone per beat. Okay, the beat of your heart is where the concept of beats come from in music, because it's meant to kind of tune your frequency, vibration, and tone to a certain beat, heartbeat. Okay, and that heartbeat creates what you call music, which is originally known as muse. Okay, which is magic. Next episode.